Good afternoon, everybody. I'm John, and I'm the Wayward Survivalist. So a couple weeks ago, I put out a video that I took in 2022 in regards to my Get Home bag that I had in my truck in Alaska. So this is kind of a follow-up to that on if I had changed anything, which I have, kind of what I put in for Middle Tennessee now. So we're going to go through my bag again, and there are some differences, but see if you can spot them. So what is a Get Home bag, first of all? So what it is, right? It is exactly that. It is just meant to get you home from point B, which is wherever the heck you are, to point A, which is your home, right? It is not meant to be a bug out bag. It is not meant to be a I'm never coming home bag. It is not meant to be something that you can rely on for a week in the woods and hopefully you survive. That is not the point of this thing. The point of this particular bag is to get me and my family home from wherever it is we're at. Now keep in mind, if I go on a 400 mile, 500 mile trip, I am going to pack more than just this. I will either change out bags altogether or supplement things in the vehicle that I can supplement in this bag if I have to get us to another safe location. Again, not a bug out bag, not an inch bag. If you travel, you should have more things to supplement said bag. This thing, my intended purpose is for 24 hours, maybe 36 hours to survive somewhat comfortably. That is all this thing is for. That is all I have in here. 24, 36 hours, maybe 48 if I'm pushing it. Yeah. All right, so we'll get into this thing. All right, so let's open this thing up. So what I'm gonna do is the bag itself is a Mystery Ranch. I forget the actual name of it. It's not a rat's pack, but originally it is an aid bag that I got issued in the Army. But it's made by Mystery Ranch. I really like it. So first things first, these outside two pockets, right? Pocket A, I have, lo and behold, just a poncho. That's all it is. Nothing special about it. It is not a military poncho. It's just a $5 poncho I got from Walmart. But it'll do the job. Also in this pocket, I have a small collapsible foldable camp stove. It's got the trioxine tablets in it. Again, little comfort items. If you can heat up some water to make hot chocolate or heat up some water to make some coffee, that is a very big morale boost. So that is kind of readily accessible in that pocket. In the other exterior outside pocket, whatever you want to call it, I have multiple items in here. So this, just a t-shirt. If you get wet, you get snowy, so a t-shirt, that's all it is. In this package, I have a set of work gloves, a little beanie, I got a pair of socks, and a balaclava. So everything is vacuum sealed and waterproofed. Gloves, you never know when you have to touch stuff or pick stuff up or anything like that. Debris, if you're in a car wreck, there's glass, there's metal, there's all kinds of stuff. The beanie, again, just because it gets cold, it doesn't get like super cold here, but a beanie is a nice thing to have. The socks, why not? If your feet get wet, change out your socks, man. And then a balaclava. I carry a balaclava. Everybody kind of wonders why. It is an identity. I mean, hell, everybody knows Antifa wears balaclavas. Baklava, whatever you want to call it. It's just an identity thing. Sometimes I don't want people to know who I am. Also, it can help in the winter. And again, also, I wear one to ride in the wintertime. It helps with rain, keeping race off your face, that sort of thing. And then, okay, top pocket. Right, so top pocket. Readily accessible things go right up top. Fixed blade. I always have a fixed blade in my bag. If I have to use this bag, this is going on my hip first thing. Yeah, so fixed blade, small pair of 4-power binoculars. I forget what these are, but anyway, these, M24 binoculars, yeah. These were, again, issued in the Army, and these have come in very, very handy on multiple occasions. Being able to see what's in front of you, do a little reconnaissance, make sure you're not walking into danger is a very, very good thing. Then I have a map of my local county, right? So you probably, if you don't have paper maps, you really need to get some. I just went to a local real estate agent and they have county maps. I also have state maps in my truck that I always keep. Again, paper maps are a good thing. And then I have an extra 50 rounds of my pistol ammo. Hopefully I will never, ever need these extra 50 rounds. But if I do, I have them. Yeah, so that's what's in my readily available pocket right up top. Again, you can use this pocket to put those stuff that we talked about for supplemental stuff. If the kids have something they want to take with them out of their vehicle, something like that, that's always a good option. Okay, main pocket. So, main pocket. All right, so on the inside of my main pocket, it unzips. I have a couple of different things, but I need to vacuum seal that back up. A couple of the giant 44-gallon black trash bags. They're like yard trash bags. You never know when you're going to need to waterproof this thing all together. Torrential downpour, you don't want all of your crap getting soaked. Find a big tree somewhere, put it under, go from there. A couple of N95s. And no, this is not for that COVID bullshit that we all should have died from. So, forest fires, debris in the air, volcanic ash, you name it. You don't want to breathe that crap in. So, just a couple N95 masks to keep you from breathing in the smoke, the debris, ash, whatever. They come in handy. And the reason, I actually had 4 in here. The reason this is torn open is because I needed to use some. But yeah, so I've got those in the front flat pocket. And so everything that I have in here is labeled in its own bag, right? So at the very, very top, I have the medical. Right, so medical is exactly that. Anything, boo-boos, ouchies. So vacuum sealed, some combat gauze, and some normal H&H compressed gauze. I've got 2 little bleed kits, some trauma scissors, some 2-inch tape, right? And then I have the Israeli bandages that go with those bleeding kits. And then I've got some chest seals, a couple of needle decompression needles, and then we run into the owies and boo-boos. Right, some Tylenol, some Motrin if you're having to walk, if you have a headache, you know, kind of anything and everything for just owies and stuff. And then in this one, I've got various kinds of Band-Aids, I've got antibiotic ointment, got a couple of vials of Dermabond. If you've never seen Dermabond, Dermabond is absolutely awesome. Everybody's like, oh yeah, just use super glue and electrical tape. No, super glue will hurt and it is very, very hard for your body to get rid of. Dermabond is the way to go. If you can find Dermabond, awesome. But that is what's in my medical packet. And then I have 2 small Ziploc bags, so when I crack open this medicine, I actually have something to put them back in so they don't get lost. So that's my medical. Again, if you're on any daily medications that you absolutely have to take, I would highly suggest putting those in there. If you have a rescue inhaler, I would put 1 or 2 in there. If you have EpiPens, I would put 1 or 2 of them in there. This is kind of what you need to keep yourself alive, keep your kids alive. I know some people are allergic to bees or whatever else, you know. That is where you keep in your medical kit. I used to have antibiotics. I used to have more, you know, like cold medicine and stuff. But I've kind of gotten away from that because this isn't intended for a bug out situation. It's just made to get you home. So yeah, that's in my medical. Let's pack this back up and we'll move along. But again, you know, get whatever it is you think you need. These bags are not one size fits all. They are definitely what works for you may not work for me. What works for me may not work for you. So if you are not trained on how to do a needle decompression, then there's no reason for you to have needle decompression needles. If you are not trained in, you know, packing a wound with combat gauze, then you probably don't need combat gauze. If you have a child that is allergic to bees, I would highly suggest having an EpiPen. Or if you have asthma or have a child with asthma, I would highly suggest that you have an inhaler. It's just stuff like that that you specifically have to think about. And again, all those daily medicines, you know, if you're taking nitro for your heart, or if you're taking cholesterol meds, something like that. Just keep that in your head. Okay, the next big one, water procurement, right? So water is always a big thing. You have to have water. I do not physically keep water in here because water is very, very heavy, but I have various means to procure water. These are 500 ml hydration flasks. As you see, they fold up, right? They get very, very small, but all you gotta do is fill them up, and you can hang them on your side on a clip, or you can carry them, or you can put them in the top pocket. So you have a way to always have water with you. I also have a blender bottle, right? Now, you're like, why the fuck do you have a blender bottle if you got the hydration flasks? It's two purpose, right? One, to carry water. Two, it protects everything else in the bag. I have purification tablets, right? So, also known as iodine tablets. Iodine was kind of the old school. They don't really use iodine anymore. Different kinds. So there's iodine tablets that we know as iodine tablets, and then I have another one, micropore tablets, and that's the reason I got specifically the 500 milliliter hydration flasks. So you can get bigger, you can get smaller, whatever works for you. But what works for me is this is simple, because each one of these tablets purifies 500 milliliters of water. Look at that. So 500 ml, fill that thing up, put one of these tablets in it, shake it up, put it in your bag for a half hour. Awesome, you're good to go. You can drink. Same thing with this thing, 500 milliliters, right? Fill it all the way up to the top. 500 milliliters, one of those tablets, bloop, good to go. All right, so what's in here? So once you purify this water, it's still going to taste gross. So I have some Camelback elixirs, just electrolyte powder, and then I have a couple of Propel packets. All it is just comfort stuff to make that purified water taste a little better. I also have a life straw. And if you don't have a life straw, look it up, man. Life straws are awesome. They're relatively cheap. You can get one or two of them, put one in your car, put one in your bag. I mean, these things are awesome. The only downside of this, especially when I was living in Alaska, is if you use it and it freezes, then you're screwed, because all those little filter elements are going to break. So that's a good thing about the pills, right? So, and then if you don't know what these are, I would highly suggest figuring it out. I'm going to tell you what it is though. So this is a Silcock key, right? So on any building, any commercial building, and on a lot of apartment buildings and houses, you have the hose bibs, right? Well, those little hose bibs on commercial buildings have these little keys, right? They're all square keys. So you may not, and they are recessed into the wall. So it's not like you can just take a pair of pliers. You have to get one of these Silcock keys. So you always have water available to you, especially in a city. You can get them at Home Depot, you can get them at Lowe's, they're in the plumbing section. They cost about $10 a piece, and they are invaluable, especially if you're any sort of urban or suburban terrain. You have a commercial building, they have to have access to water on the outside of the building somewhere. So, boom. I always keep one of these, and I'm pretty sure I have one on my truck too. They are phenomenal. So, but again, multiple different ways to purify water. You can use sun, you can use chemical treatment, you can use boiling, you can use all kinds of different methods. But that's kind of my water kit. Again, water is absolutely invaluable. You have to have it. So figure out how you are going to collect it and store it for your trip. Do not trust the old adage of a clear running stream does not have pollutants in it, or a clear running stream does not have Giardia or Cryptosporidium. Just because the water is clear and just because it is moving does not mean you won't get sick. You will regret life decisions. All right, so the next one, food, right? Various different types of stuff you could put in here. But again, it's all like little small snacky treat stuff. It is not made, you're not going to have a full-course meal in this thing. So you can see kind of an example of what I have, right? I've got Cliff Bars. I've got little beef jerkies. I have little Cliff Bars. I've got little granola bars. I've got some Licky Chewies, right? So all these things are just little readily available carbs, readily available energy, and it'll get you in a pinch for 24 hours. You are not going to sit down and have a meal off a bunch of beef jerky and a bunch of chocolate chip chewy bars, right? It is just a stave off that hunger pain, especially those Jolly Ranchers. That works awesome for that. This is just to kind of keep you going, keep you walking until you get to the house and have a good meal. So you can also put tuna packages. You can put salmon packages. You can put more beef jerky. There are all kinds of shelf-stable stuff that you can put in this if you don't like Cliff Bars or if you don't like granola bars. Just go through, I mean, go to Aldi's, go to Walmart, go anywhere and just walk up and down the store aisles, right? All of that is shelf-stable. You don't necessarily have to have something you have to cook. So, yeah, readily available. Okay, so next one, I'm trying to decide which one to go to next. Let's do the survival. All right, so this is where this bag is going to get kind of iffy for people. So I've labeled it survival. What is in the survival kit? This is kind of a catch-all. I'll just kind of dump everything out and we'll go through it, because this one is stuffed to the gills with stuff, and it's all different things. So what I just took out of the bottom is a folding saw. That's all it is, just a folding saw you can get at Lowe's or Home Depot. Clicks out, 6-7 inch blade. But all it is firewood production, right? That's all it's for. Something this big around or smaller. You can split it with that fixed blade, and then you have firewood. So these are really, really handy to have. Okay, so I'm just kind of grabbing stuff. My dog is telling me there's somebody outside. Loki boy, come on. Good boy. Good boy. Come sit down. All right. Plastic bags. All right. Just Ziploc bags. Again, if you find something you want to keep, or you have something like a paper map that you don't want to get wet,
like rocks.
Come here.
Like rocks?
Come here. Sit. Sit.
Like magical rocks you find?
No.
Okay.
Not magical rocks. But Ziploc bags, just anything you want to waterproof, anything you need to keep. There's that. Okay. So this, people always ask me why, because I used to carry this in the Army too. It is just fluorescent orange marking tape. That's all it is. So why do I have fluorescent orange marking tape? It's so you can use it for a lot of different things. You can use it to mark danger areas. You can use it to mark safe areas. You can use it to mark kind of anything and everything you want. You can write on it with a Sharpie. You can label things. I used to use it for kind of labeling different things in the Army. But kind of on the civilian side, if you're walking through the woods and let's just say it's getting towards dusk, getting towards evening time, right? You're still walking. Tape a little 6 to 8 inch piece, dangle it off the back of your kid's belt, or wrap it in the ponytail of your daughter's hair. Something like that. All it is for marking. If you're hiding for the evening and you're not necessarily within arm's reach of each other, put a little piece of marking tape around the wrist. Just so it is a bright visual aid to help you in kind of that emergency situation. A lot of different uses. Just kind of think outside the box on that one a little bit. A couple different rolls of 550 cord, right? Yes, I've got 2 different packages of 550. One's green, one's tan. Doesn't matter. It's just all 550 cord. Because never fails, man. You always lose your 550. You set it down. What do you know? It's nice and green. It blends in. That shit's gonna disappear. So I have 2. Doesn't really matter the color. You can have white. You can have yellow. You can have whatever. You can make snares out of the 550 gut. You can, 1,000 different methods and uses for 550. Chem lights, right? Got, what is that, 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 chem lights, right? Again, chem lights are very, very good at a lot of different things. Multiple colors. I think I got blue, green, yellow. Anyway, it's just a marking aid. That's all it is. Okay, bug spray. Yeah, I live in the South, man. Bugs are stupid down here. So, bug spray. Just a comfort item. Don't necessarily have to have it, but I choose to. Signal mirror. You can use it for a lot of different things, but it is a signaling mirror. You can use it to shave with. You can use it for doing your hair in the morning if you want to look good during the apocalypse. Signal mirror. I've always carried one in the Army. I carry one everywhere we go. Signal mirrors are awesome. And then these last items kind of all go together. Right? This is all just fire starting material some way, somehow. A lighter, self-explanatory. What do you know? Instant fire. These are it's a fire starting kit. It's got a little ferro rod, a little sparker in there, and then it's got some little cotton applicator things. Very, very good and effective at making fire. 4 little pieces of fat wood. If you don't know what fat wood is, look it up. I'm not going to explain it on here. Fat wood is, again, awesome stuff. You can make a fire very, very easily with fat wood. And then the last item from our fire making kit is petroleum gauze, petroleum cotton balls. That's what I was trying to think of, cotton balls. Again, very, very good at starting fires. Also, if your hands are chapped, you can just rub it in. Now you have Vaseline, right? Or if your fingers, or not fingers, but if your lips are chapped, boom, there you go. Right? So, very good at fire making stuff. That's kind of again, this is kind of a catch-all bag, but all of these things are really, really kind of, in my mind, very important to have. Again, you may think that folding saw is absolutely useless. Cool. You do you, boo. You know, it's your bag. You do what you want. I've done this for a few years. I kind of know what works for me. I know what works for my bag, and I'm just gonna go with it how I see fit. Just like you should go with it how you see fit. I am not saying this is how you create your bag. I'm not saying anything like that. All I'm saying is you should probably have one, and if you don't, highly consider making one, because you never know what's gonna happen. You know. You never know. And this stuff never goes back in the bag the way it came out. So. Alright, so last kind of bag. This is a personal hygiene bag. Yes, you need to do personal hygiene. Bar soap, self-explanatory. I have toothbrushes and toothpaste. I have foot powder. If your feet get wet, you really need to keep them dry. So some foot powder is awesome. Toilet paper, yes, trust me, toilet paper is going to be awesome. Flushable wipes, they don't necessarily have to be flushable if you're in the woods, but they are biodegradable somewhat, so that's kind of nice. And then if you have females in your life, some sort of feminine hygiene products for them, some wipes, some pads, some tampons. You know, it's just, if you got females, you need them, because you never know when that's going to happen. But yeah, so again, there's room in this for more. That is just kind of like bare minimum, and that's all I carry is kind of bare minimum on that aspect, because hopefully you're not going to be using that entire bar of soap. You know, if you're out for that long, something went horribly wrong. But yeah, so that's kind of my get home bag, or my truck bag as people call it. I could definitely put more in there, but there's kind of a weight limit. Now, I am pretty good at rucking. I can put 35-40 pounds on my back and ruck all day long. Dude, is that going to be comfortable? Nope. Do I want to do it? Nope. Can I? Maybe. But there's a weight limit, so you don't want to get so heavy that this thing is super uncomfortable and you're going to start dropping stuff, or you're not going to be able to move quickly. Quickly, effectively, quietly, that sort of thing. Yeah, this is my get home bag. If you want some more information on necessarily why I have stuff in here, shoot me an email, leave a comment, that sort of thing. But this is me. This is why, this is what I have in my bag. I would love to hear what you have in your bag. So comment down below. It'll be really fun to compare notes, because I may have forgotten something. I probably did. That's probably really important. I don't know. If you leave a comment, let me know. We'll figure it out. Yeah, so that's what I have. So if you haven't seen the video I produced in 2022, go back and take a look. It might give you some insights, and then compare videos and do what you think you should do for you and yours. So yeah, like, subscribe, and all other BS. I would kind of enjoy it if you did. So let me know what you think. Leave a comment, and we'll kind of go from there. I hope your family and you are doing spectacular. It's getting to be fall time, so you may have to look at your bag and kind of go from spring, summer to fall, winter. But yeah, like, subscribe, all other BS, and I will talk to you guys later. All right, we'll see you guys out there. Have a good one.